Hello, everybody, and welcome to Optimism Fractal. We're here for our 59th event, and I'm so pleased to be here with great builders, Jake and Eric and Tadas and Will and Rosmari. Hope that everybody's having a great day. We've been having great conversations. We're showing off the unlock and the hats and everything like that. Very cool. If anyone wants to say a quick hello, then feel free. Otherwise, I'll jump into, well, either way, I'll jump into a introductory presentation about Optimism Fractal and what we'll be doing today. So hope that everybody enjoys the event and the show. Thanks all for being here and have fun. So today we're going to be coordinating resources. We love to allocate capital, all kinds of capital. Today at Optimism Fractal, we're having our second to last episode of season 5. And of course, with each Optimism Fractal event, we play the Respect game, a powerful coordination game that fosters collaboration, awards public goods creators, and measures builders' impact across the Superchain. So you can learn more in these tweets from the Optimistics, the team that presents and organizes the events, and you could learn more about the videos and stuff we've been publishing there, and like and share and subscribe and so forth to spread the word, tell your friends about it. Season 6 is coming soon, and we have lots of exciting plans on the agenda. If you're not yet familiar with Optimism Fractal, check out optimismfractal.com. It's a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the Superchain. We've been meeting for about a year and a half now. Actually, we're shortly going into our year and a half anniversary. And we host bi-weekly events that provide a perfect place to network, make friends, and collaborate with amazing builders on the Superchain. And each event, like I said, we play the Respect game. It's a very interactive format where everybody can join and participate in community coordination as well as showcase their work. So the way the Respect game works is that everybody shares. We go into breakout rooms if there's more than 6 people, and then we share what we've recently done to help Optimism, help grow Optimism, collaboratively rank each other's contributions, and earn respect. A soulbound token that provides growing benefits as our reputation system and governance systems expand. You can learn more at optimismfractal.com, of course, and there's articles about all these things. And we record videos and produce videos of each event as well. So you can watch the episodes and share with friends, and you can also play your role as well and showcase what you're doing and raise awareness, get recognition, and so forth. And many developers in the community are also building with respect, building fractal apps with the Optimistics Toolkit, an open source suite of tools for community coordination and decentralized governance that allow people to easily play the respect game in any community, and also govern and make decisions with respect. Lots more to learn about there. Optimism Fractal overall, it's a excellent place to develop your on-chain career and business, whether you're new to Web3 or an experienced builder, or you have an organization or a team or a community. You can learn how to grow your reputation here at Optimism Fractal, as well as learn about these tools and coordination processes that can help your community thrive. Like I said, you can grow your reputation, learn more about the Respect token, and also how it's permanently recorded in the OP mainnet on the website, as well as all the benefits. We've received a lot of amazing feedback on the website that we've curated so you could see it, and we're building in public. We have various open source repositories, Notion sites, articles, and so forth where you can get involved and help build. And by helping build, you can eventually earn funding too. There's lots of great funding sources on the Optimism Collective and through the Ethereum ecosystem as a whole, such as retro funding, that you can earn funding from by contributing to the Superchain and to the Ethereum ecosystem. So learn more there. Optimism Fractal is also pioneering the future of governance. It's at the core of our work is something called fractal democracy. And we have protocol specifications that we follow, basically what rules of the game that allow us to cooperate with this decentralized governance process called fractal democracy that we've been pioneering amongst many community leaders for years now. So you can learn more about our history and the intents and how you can get involved with leading the community with the Sages Council after earning respect on the website, as well as our on-chain execution software, ORDAO, and the hats based role allocation and Optimism Town Hall. And well, Optimism Town Hall is another event that I'll tell you about in a minute if you're not familiar. Optimism Fractal is founded and presented by Optimistics, and you can find education resources from Eden Fractal as well as events that support Optimism Fractal. And we're building the Superchain together, an interconnected network of blockchain scaling Ethereum on an open source code base, the OP stack with OP mainnet, Base, World, Sonium Inc., Unichain, Zora, and many other great networks that you can learn more about at optimism.io. And of course, ethereum.org. Best way to get involved with Optimism Fractal is join our bi-weekly events on Thursdays at 7 UTC. We hope to see you there and hope to see your friends and meet more people as well. You can check out optimismfractal.com/videos to see show notes of all the recent videos that we've published about rebuilding economies and regenerative governance and so forth. Recommend checking them out. Shout out to Rosmari making beautiful art here, and yeah, lots of show notes that you can check out to learn more and get involved and see what everybody's contributing to Optimism, as well as we just published a tweet from the Optimistics about the recent video episode 2, where you can now see what each person contributed like really easily and retweet and so forth. So you can see what people are doing. So I encourage you to like and share, such as how Zal did. He put together the Year of the Zal. Zal is the founder of Zal Fractal Playing Respect Games, and he put out a great tweet here or a great paragraph post encouraging everyone to join and summarizing the video. And check out the Eden Creators YouTube channel to subscribe and like and find all the videos in one spot, as well as the Optimism Fractal Season 5 thread on the governance forum, where you can find updates each week. And you can register from the website. And you could do that on loo.optimistics. I'll share a bit of community news here because there's a couple exciting things, and then we'll get into playing the respect game. So, one, I want to let everybody know that Optimism Fractal now has a donation address. So, Tadas just put this message out this morning. Tadas set up a 0x split, or now called the split contract, that reflects the respect distributions from our first 4 seasons. And he already tested by sending and distributing $20, and anybody who participated in the first 4 seasons and earned respect can now withdraw it by logging into app.splits.org. And then there's like a claim button over there. So he talked about how this is a simple method for Optimism Fractal participants to receive funds without having governance overhead or risks that come with normal treasury management. So thanks so much to Das for setting this up, as well as the donation. Everybody, I encourage everybody, anybody who's interested in donating and supporting the community to use this now. Anybody can use it, as well as if you earn some funds, you can see the distribution here, and you can now claim your funds too. So thanks so much to Das, and I'm really excited about this split mechanism in general as a way to reward people for doing helpful work for Optimism. And you can learn more at splits.org to see how this works, the infrastructure for it. Also want to let everybody know too that over the past couple of weeks, I published a document as part of the grants. The grant that I got approved, the research grant for a Optimism Fractal fund distribution system. And the next deliverable has now been released about Optimism Fractal's governance infrastructure for that could be used to distribute funds via the Respect game. So this is a article about tripartite governance that's inspired a lot by Tadas's work on the governance design, as well as a tripartite governance post too. Or Optimistics put out a little summary here about it, but basically we discussed this in detail at the Eden Fractal event as well. So that video will be coming out shortly if people want to see a visual summary of it, and then you can now read the full document on the Optimism Governance Forum, and it goes into quite a bit of detail about the tripartite governance structure and the history and so forth, and fractal decision-making processes, talks about ORDAO and the council and the respect game and so forth. So I encourage people to read it, as well as if you haven't yet seen the previous parts in this mission, then you can see the videos from our Optimism Town Hall events previously, as well as the full proposal or full research document to learn more about how Respect Game and Optimism Fractal could distribute funds. So that's there, and I'll wrap up the presentation shortly. Thanks, Rosmari, for sharing the video. Oh, it has been published, actually. And yeah, just one other thing that I'm going to mention here is Optimism Town Hall. For anybody who can stick around, at the top of the hour, we're going to be going into Optimism Town Hall for discussions about Superchain. And the topic for this week that has the most votes is about optimal agreements, and then the fractal ecosystem closely behind. And Rosmari put out this message here that we were talking about before. Curious to hear everybody's opinions on the idea of implementing community agreements. We've been thinking about this, as well as the length of seasons and how long our upcoming break should be. So those are all kind of aligned with the optimal fractal agreements and fractal ecosystem topics. So as always, people can vote for their favorite topics and so forth. Right now, these are the top topics, and very curious to hear your thoughts about that. And you can register for these on the Optimistics event calendar, as well as all the other events there. So with that, thanks all for listening and being patient. We're going to play the respect game, and I'm looking forward to hearing what everybody's contributed. Everybody here knows how it works. So, but for anybody who's watching, each of us are going to take turns for about 4 minutes or so, maybe 5 if we go longer, sharing what we did to help Optimism and the Superchain over the past couple of weeks, and then we'll work to reach consensus on who helped the most and second most and third most and so forth. And if we can reach consensus, then we will each receive respect. So you can learn more at the optimistics.io/respect article. But that's it for my presentation here. Oh, but before I respect game, feel free to share your links, share your screen and stuff like that. Happy to help promote your work. So yeah, hope everybody has a great time, and looking forward to hearing from everybody. Does anybody want to go first and share what they've done to help Optimism recently as their contributions in the respect game? Or if anybody has anything else you want to say, then feel free to jump in as well. The floor is open.
Well, if no one's going to talk, I'll be glad to talk. You know that about me.
Sounds good, Eric. You can talk now
So,
then.
so, So I've been working with Abraham on developing the app so it's so simple it doesn't even take any moderators. And then I started recruiting. So, if those that don't know, I'm working on my doctoral dissertation. I've got approval from the university to move forward. So, in February, I recruited a bunch of three organizations to participate in my study with a target launch date of research starting April 1st. Unfortunately, the federal government decided to pull funding for all those organizations because they're mostly research related. And so they've said, we are just freaking out. So we don't want to play. We love it, but we're just trying to, we're so focused on whether we're going to survive that we don't want to play. So I retargeted the launch date for May 1st and started recruiting organizations. So far, I have two. Yesterday, I met with an organization with 500 volunteers, and they seem pretty really positive about it. But we'll see. That's how organization goes. So it was a fairly large team that I presented to. So that's good. That means they've got a well organized group that really wants to move ahead. But on the other hand, it's bad because any one of them could say something and trash the whole effort. Um, so that's really, and I also reframed the public goods idea for the ultimate public goods, which is really about sustainably and resiliently ensuring that nonprofits can deliver and grow their operations and services in all economic climates. And it really goes into three areas: the people part, which is what I'm doing right now, the strategy part, which is another research we've been doing, and the technology. So I built out that whole product stack so that they can be rolled out bit by bit without taking over an organization said you have to do all things my way. So it's meant to be layers that can be added and that fit well within their organization. So I've presented that whole portfolio a couple times to some nonprofits. They seem pretty positive about it. So created a really solid future mission, created a path to get there, and then made initial progress, had a setback, and I'm making progress to actually rolling out the first level of that, hopefully starting on May 1st. That makes sense?
I believe it does, and I see Jacob is shaking his head yes too. If you wanted to add anything else, Eric, you still have about a minute or a minute and a half left or something like that.
No, it's just really good to see, to talk about this stuff and have people shake their heads and say, I get it. This sounds great. So I've worked hard to talk to a lot of people till I shaped at the point where now almost everybody goes, that sounds really good. I like it and I get it.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for all the great work, Eric, and you're looking forward to seeing it grow, and really glad to hear all the positive feedback. I experienced some
And
similar stuff when we went to Denver as well. Go ahead.
what was kind of funny was that yesterday I actually had to give my presentation from Starbucks. So I had a bunch of people on Zoom and I'm giving my presentation. And it just turned out to be that two women at the table next to me were working with a nonprofit, and their discussion was how do we motivate our volunteers. So they're like, we have to go now, but we want more, hear more about what you're doing. So that was just kind of coincidence that was funny.
Very nice.
And it's actually pretty interesting. It's actually a pretty interesting cherry.
I think you might be breaking up a little bit, Eric. I heard most of what you said, but then it sounded like you said it's actually an interesting cherry.
The women that were sitting at the table working on how to motivate their volunteers. That charity is about mothers and daughters volunteering together, called the Charity Foundation. I thought that was an interesting concept.
Okay. Very interesting. Seems like maybe the stars are aligning here. Well, thanks so much, Eric, and feel free to let us know if there's if you want help with this along the way. I'm really excited about your progress
I
and appreciate
I
you giving us
I
updates.
probably once I lock this in, I probably will because I'll need some guinea pigs to pretend they know nothing and just say, "Okay, here's my training. Do you get it? And does it work?" So I need people who can pretend they don't know anything. Do I click this button and I don't get it? So I need to run it through once and make sure it really works. Especially if we get 500 people or 100 people on, with this charity that we've got going.
Okay, well, sounds good. Yeah, feel free to let me know whenever you want help with that or other things that may come to mind. And you're really excited about your progress and implementing these kinds of respect game processes into charities and so forth, and hope it goes well. If you want, Eric, you can pick somebody to go next whenever you're ready as well.
Oh, I would love to hear what Jake's been up to.
Sound good?
For sure. Um, this past, well, so I guess it's the past 2 weeks, right? Because Optimism Fractal is 1 week, and then
Yep.
something else is the other.
Yeah, Eden Fractal. That's right.
Yeah. So let's cover the past 2 weeks. It's a good question then. I think for the most part, the past 2 weeks, I mean, I haven't done any like action items, but I've been attending a few optimism related events and meetings. Pretty much done with the Grants Council office hours. I was attending those for about a week or two, just kind of seeing what's going on in the grants ecosystem. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot. And so I kind of bothered Ghana to death. And so I'm sure he's fed up with me at this point. So I'm probably done going to those. And then kind of catching up on the, I guess, governance side of things with GovNerds, community office hours. Just kind of listening in, seeing what they're talking about, and seeing if there's any way for me to plug in. There isn't currently, but we'll see. I continue to keep going to those. Mostly just been floating around all these different communities like ENS as well, base, Raid Guild. I'm talking to Raid Guild people where I guess this isn't really optimism related. I guess it could be maybe EVM related. But with Raid Guild taking on a couple of projects that I might as well share my screen since I'm kind of just going about as I do this. Okay, cool. Raid Guild, we have these two projects going on here. Those are probably private chats, so I'll go to some sort of public chat. But essentially got two projects going on. We just submitted proposals to the clients, and then we're going to wait for their clients to respond back. And then, so hopefully one is with Quai. They're actually like a Bitcoin project, kind of, but they want to be able to bridge into EVM. And then the other one, I'm actually blanking on it. It's not this one here that we're seeing. That's a different project. But so I've been doing stuff with the Raid Guild, and trying to get more involved in that community. And then kind of, as you can see here at the top, I have many open tabs and groups, a lot of YouTube videos and stuff. And so I've kind of built this backlog of things to read or watch and listen in the background of things. And the one that I got to was kind of this Squad Wealth, which, as you can see, is published 2020. So I think this was right when they talked. COVID pandemic was recent. So this might have been like during or right after the COVID pandemic. And so it just kind of takes a deep dive into squad mentalities compared to traditional ways that humans organized, especially pre-COVID. And so it made me think of Optimism Fractal, about how this kind of does feel like a squad, where like you can easily imagine here, Optimism Fractal is maybe the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I don't know, Raid Guild is the Power Rangers, right? You just have these different groups of people doing their own little niche thing, and maybe there's some like collaboration there. And so, you know, it just, is that time at this time? Okay, I'll finish up really quick. It just kind of had this whole focus on, right, the squad, and like, here's the benefits of it, all of it, right? And so it kind of made me realize I was kind of on this, even though I was interacting with like communities and stuff, it was still just kind of me trying to do my own thing, which had the consequences of not encountering all of these benefits here, right? So as I go forward, especially in the optimism community, I'm going to try and see how I can kind of focus on this squad mentality a bit more, and see what connections I can build there and how we can leverage my skill sets to just kind of bring the squad community and push it all forward. So yeah, especially looking forward with that, with Optimism Fractal. Maybe I'll hit you up, Dan, or Rosmari, or Tadas, or Abraham, or anyone else doing anything with Optimism Fractal. See how I can start helping out a bit more with the project. So yeah, that's kind of been my past 2 weeks.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jacob. You're looking forward to further collaborating with you. So feel free to reach out anytime. I'm actually planning to reach out to you too about something. Yeah, thanks so much for all the great work, and looking forward to exploring that more. Really appreciate you sharing the updates and helping. Also want to welcome Gudasol too. Thanks for joining. Longtime friend and fractal leader and builder. Hope that you're doing well today. We're in the middle of the respect game here. If you want to say hello, then feel free. I suppose we'll just do this respect game with the first 6 people who joined. And Gudasol, if you want to talk at some point, then you're welcome to. We'd love to hear your updates. And of course, if you join earlier, then you play the respect game. But I think at this point, we're already kind of in the middle with the 6 of us. But yeah, great to see you though, and we'd love to hear from you. And I see happy to listen. Sounds good. And a little smiley face, I believe. Good to see you all. Good to see you too, good as well. All right, and here comes another person. Here comes Timed as well. So, all right, cool. Jacob, if you want to pick somewhere to go next, then you can whenever you're ready. Also, welcome, Time. Thanks for joining. We're in the middle of a respect game right now, so we're about to hear from somebody that Jacob picks to go next, and then we're a bit short on time right now because we have a half hour left, and we still have 4 people who haven't gone yet. So we should probably try to be a bit more expedient. I'm not sure if my timer is showing, by the way. Zoom changed something, but if you want to say hello,
Yeah,
Time,
it's
then
showing.
feel free. Oh, okay.
I don't see it on your video, but I see it as a counter at the top.
Okay. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Thanks for the confirmation, Will. Okay, great. Well, we have time. If you want to say hello, then feel free. And of course, if you're able to join at the beginning of the event, then you can play the respect game in the future. But we'd love to hear your updates at some point. And Jacob, if you want to pick somebody to go next, then you can do so whenever you're ready.
Sure. I'll send it over to Tadas.
Okay, thanks, Jake. Yeah, so over the last couple of weeks, I think I gave feedback for Dan regarding tripartite governance model, or more generally, his governance integration strategy document, which he prepared for Optimism Fractal grant. Anyway, so it basically covered the Optimism Fractal governance process as a whole, involving both the council process and ORDAO, and how it all comes together. And we later talked about this in Eden Fractal. meeting which I participated in, and and I think this was the first time we extensively covered how Optimism Fractal governance works right now. Because previously we are either focusing on council process or ORDAO. Now we basically talked about how it all comes together into a unified model, and yeah, it's particularly interesting part is how it relates to system 1, system 2 kind of thinking model as described in Thinking Fast, Slow book by Daniel Kahneman. Because yeah, we found that the council process is basically serves the same function as system 2 in his model, and system 1 is basically ORDAO. ORDAO serves as system 1 part, and yeah, and that also kind of a sign for me that the tripartite governance model, universality of tripartite governance model, that I was right in that article that it's universal, that all decisions are made in this way. Anyway, so I could expand on that, but I want to cover other contributions. So me and Dan are also talking with another community to deploy ORDAO for them. I also deployed ORDAO for Buildium, which is like Abraham's initiative to use his fractalgram app and ORDAO for at his job. Then I released, or at least tagged or published the 1.2 version of ORDAO, which is basically just includes changes that I made over the last couple of weeks, like reduce wait times when submitting results. Although Abraham probably haven't integrated that new version yet, so you won't see the change yet. And yeah, and some other small changes and bug fixes. And I guess the contribution I'm most excited about is that I just deployed a split contract, what I call respect-based split for Optimism Fractal. So basically I created a split which uses percentages derived from our respect distribution. So if you have say 14% of respect from seasons 1 through 4, basically our old respect in our old respect token, then you will get 14% of all funds sent to that split contract. And this serves as means to for Optimism Fractal to receive funds right now. And looking forward, it could be like the main method to receive funds, because if we apply the upgrade process which I propose, where we every few seasons we deploy a new respect contract, then we basically simply deploy a new split after every upgrade, and we basically have a contract where to receive funds and a method to distribute them in an incredibly neutral manner, and yeah, I think that's very cool and very big step forward. And I donated $20 worth of ETH already, so you should be able to claim to withdraw that your part from that. So yeah, or you could wait until someone else donates more and then withdraw it all. But I will drop a link where you can withdraw. Anyway, that's all from my side.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tadas. Amazing. Whenever you want, you can pick somebody to go next.
Okay, Rosmari.
Okay, thanks. I will share my screen. Can you set the time, please?
Yes, sure. Thanks for the reminder.
Okay, so I was traveling and adjusting to changing time zone. So that took a bit of time. I helped with creating a few different kind of ways to promote what we're doing here, and I will like show you what I did. So, for example, I worked on this image in collaboration with Dan to showcase the tripartite governance that Tadas was mentioning, where we discussed it at Optimism Fractal. And I made this thread that explores what it's about, and it tells that story in a nice format. I shared that message across the different platforms too. And then I just posted this for the town hall that's coming up in 20 minutes. I made this image as we're gonna talk about the season's update, and I made this thread in collaboration with Dan. He gave me some information that I can use based on the topic that's currently voted as the highest in prioritization. So yeah, I did this tweet, and I also linked to the newest town hall too. And also I worked on this image here. That's the promotion for for today's event and the video that's going to come out. I'll use the promotional images as a thumbnail, as many of you have probably noticed. And again, this is a kind of a event invitation. I shared the latest Optimism Fractal event video too. And then I also made this long thread with highlights from builders' projects and their growth. So that was from like 2 events ago. And so it looks like that, where it's linked to the video, and then I'm tagging all the builders, and then picking some highlights and linking to the timestamp for that leads to their turn in the spec game, essentially. And so it's like a nice, easy way to track people's progress. And then yeah, so I distributed that message, across multiple like social media channels, like the Optimism Governance Forum post. This is in this case the town hall promotion, as well as the Warpcast and a few more. Like I worked on the show notes where I curate the timestamps, then the resources that were shared during each event, some feedback, and then some other links that you can explore as you scroll down. And also there's like an episode summary. I use AI to do that. So if you're in a rush, you can just come at find the show notes under learn videos, and then read if you're in a rush to see what the episode was about. And I did the same with Town Hall, kind of the same format where you can see the timestamps, episode summary, and so forth. And I also edited the Fractal video and attended some internal calls with that's connected to what Tadas mentioned, where we're working to integrate to the processes that we've been building to another community. Thank you. And I suppose, Dan, would you like to go next?
I could. Thank you, Rosmari. Wonderful contributions. if Will wants to go first, he's welcome to as well. Or I can go first and go past Will afterwards. But I suppose Will hasn't unmuted, so I'll go ahead first and then Will can go afterwards. I saw he shared some links to what he'll preview afterwards. Okay, so I'll start up and give my timer here. So I'll share what I did to help Optimism, to grow Optimism over the past 2 weeks. Everybody here knows me, I think, pretty well. So y'all know I do a lot organizing the events and coordinating with teams in the background for event hosting and facilitation and helping coordinate technical development and developing the websites and collaborating on the community marketing and generally doing a lot of fundraising and campaign development, stuff like that. So, a lot of it's private, but I'll try to give a good overview here of some of the highlights over the past couple of weeks. You can learn more about me at dansingjoy.com. And so, as Tadas mentioned, Rosmari mentioned, one of the main contributions for me this week is this governance integration strategy document for democratic fund distribution through the Respect Game. So I wrote all this just under 2 weeks ago about why governance matters for fund distribution and explaining a lot of what we already have so far. A lot of it was explaining the history of it, as well as explaining why fractal decision-making processes are important and things that Tadas had theorized with the universality of tripartite governance. So I wrote a very detailed document about that and explained how the different processes weigh into that. I had Optimism Fractal to form a model, both for fund distribution through Optimism Fractal as well for other communities. And then went into detail about how exactly each one of these mechanisms work as well, like the actual specifications and responsibilities for each one. And then there's another post here with educational resources and stuff like that and links where you can learn more. And then I also hosted the event too and organized this event for Eden Fractal on tripartite governance and collaborate with Rosmari in the picture a little bit. So yeah, hosted that event and we went over it in more detail there. So that's a good resource to learn more about it. Really excited about that contribution, but I have other ones, so I'll move on. Another thing that I've been working on is a Superchain interop incubator. So when I was in ETH Denver, I had the pleasure to meet Zane, who contributes to OP Labs PBC, and we had a great jam about how Superchain interop can help Optimism Fractal reach users across the Superchain and make Respect more accessible to builders across the Superchain. And then that prompted, I also met Hamdi, who's developing this interop, and they both made great tweets about this. And then Optimism account made great tweets about this too. And then Zane had reached out to me and invited me to join the Superchain interop program. So I've been working a lot this week to coordinate that effort and as well as try to build a team around that. So I have a project to assemble a team for Superchain interop. I told Tadas about it, and Tadas was willing to help with the advisory role, but I'm planning to reach out to actually Jacob and a few other developers to see if people want to help with this. So I have this whole project I've been organizing here, and I've also been coordinating a lot with Zane because the timelines are really tight, really tight. So I can give a little bit of an overview. There's like some pretty detailed messages here about the timing that have been going on, and then I created like kind of almost like a job description because there is like some payment involved here, and it's kind of like asking for a commitment of time and stuff like that. And so I kind of went over the benefits of this and stuff like that. It's kind of like, very I don't know if I should show it all, but and then I'm working on reaching out to individual developers who might be interested in this too. So that's one of the things I've been working on. And I also came up with this idea. I came up with several ideas for things we can build with it. Some of them are existing apps and games and stuff. And one of them is this idea of the Ethereum respect system, which I wrote this like pretty detailed article about with the help of AI. But I recorded like 12 hours worth of audio notes about this kind of thing, which is like basically creating a protocol for the respect token to be useful from across all different chains and to be used to weigh both reputation and voting and stuff like that. So a whole bunch of details here. It's kind of early state. Talk with Tadas about it as well. Also hosted the event. One of the founders of Lobbyfy joined the event last week or 2 weeks ago. And so I hosted the Lobbyfy picture, the Lobbyfy Optimum Town Hall where we dive into that. So that was really cool and interesting. And I've been working with several team members on incorporating the Respect game into a friend's communities. I have Neothink and Super Civilization, which are two communities that he works with that he wants to integrate that with. And I've also been doing a lot of research into legal structures and legal entities, stuff like that, to be able to build a business around offering your spec game and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been looking into like different kinds of financial infrastructure and stuff like that that could work alongside what we're offering. And then I made the Optimum Town Hall topic proposal and collaborate with Rosmari on the stuff that we'll discuss this week and provide a bit of feedback on Rosemary's work on the different thumbnails and stuff like that. So that's all for me now, and I'll pass it on to Will.
Thanks, Dan, for the pass.
You got it.
I accept it. I accept the assist, and I'm gonna go for a layup. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Whoop.
Whoop. Yeah. Okay. Let me share my screen here real quick. For me, I wasn't able to attend the last, and you guys can see my screen. Okay, cool. I wasn't able to attend the last Optimism Fractal meeting following the heels of December because I've been doing a lot of IRL work. Event management season is kicking off now. But what has been accomplished, in the last 2 weeks specifically. So we did a refresh to our web page to kind of reflect our social media branding and what we're putting out there on our social media sites as well. This is our Meet the Authors page. So we have published a book. We're working with an anonymous independent author on their book. Right now, we just have the static PDF version up. But as you can see, you can request EPUB or AZW3 formats as well. We've got those in the back end by writing to us at our official email address, support@kingfishersmedia.io. More to come on this. It's going to be what we call a VBook, so the video version of the PDF file. Additionally, for further enhancement, we've got a separate ebook, a traditional audiobook file as well, and then also what we're calling an AV book, so audio visual book that incorporates some animations, but also the voiceover that's been provided to us of the reading of the book. So also we had one of our community members who did this in-person event. So now we built a separate page to highlight and feature her. She had this really cool event in Fort Myers, Florida that we promoted. And essentially, it was a speaking engagement for her, speaking at this church through a leveraged relationship. But what we did for her is we set up an event page for her using Unlock, where people can pre-register for a future session with her of teaching her emotional intelligence course in person, right? So they can pre-register. The cool thing about this, even though they're priced $199 USD, if you go to register, part of the checkout process is that they can pay using their credit card if they so choose to. Not sure why that's not showing up, but anyway, because I'm logged in probably with my wallet. Anyways, they can use their credit card, so they don't have to be Web3 natives to participate or buy these tickets for that future event. Also, Dan had kind of alluded to the top of the call. We've been working a lot on our Karma page, so Karma HQ. This is the grantee accountability protocol. A lot of our updates have come here on our newly formed program Pathways for LATAM, which is about opening pathways for working class citizens in Latin America and eventually beyond without them having to participate with their hard-earned money that they use to support their families. So we've created a bypass for that. So a lot of the updates have been in here. Probably some most significant updates is we did update our roadmap here as well. I'll get to this one in a minute. But as you can see, we've got our updates in here for our roadmap. So what are the objectives we're looking to accomplish, right? And then also what was our impact? So coming off the heels of Tulum in December, did go ahead and report what our update for that event was. That was a co-hosted event with another organization as well. So we've got that in there also. Going back to HackMD, this was a retrospect that I published for the Unlock community and our other sponsors who sponsored that event in Tulum. So this is our retrospect here that we published. It is inside our HackMD. So if anybody wants to go take a look at it in further detail, feel free to do so. And if you need a link, just let me know and I can provide you the link. Also published this research project plan that we're now going to be actively fundraising for, which is a part of Pathways for LATAM, about Bitcoin City 2.0. The objective of this research project, will be to fundraise the funds necessary to take a team down. Man, that time goes fast. Take a team down to this very specific area in Latin America, partner with them, see if they want to know more about the wide world of Web3, but also it'll be very well documented as well, right? So this team will go down there and kind of partner with the local community leaders. I guess that's it for now. I put some resources in the chat. Been working a lot. Let's Grow DAO. We got awarded the RFP again to support onboarding education for GG23. So there's a lot of links in there as well. And yeah, I just put in against this particular project. Over the last couple weeks, put in close to 11 hours. So yeah, that's what I've got for you guys today.
All right, amazing. Thank you, Will. I see time putting up the heart. Also, I saw Gudasol said, I hope we do hats. I have a hat shop today. Looking forward to hearing it. I see Gudasol's clapping too. They're looking pretty cool. They're looking fashionable. Oh, there's Eric too. Oh, there's a hat. Cool. Filling up the hat ready to go. All right. Well, and Will's got a hat too. I don't know if you saw that.
I've got a hat. This is a hat protocol hat.
Yep. Okay, cool. Well, they're both great hats in their own way. Thanks for showing us the hat, Gudasol, and good to see you too, Eric. Time is having a party over here. Okay, well, yeah. If anybody wants to ask anybody any questions that'd be useful for reaching consensus, then feel free. We do only have 7 minutes left. We often have difficulty with timing, it seems like. Rosemary put up this message in the chat 10 minutes ago. There's been a bunch of great messages in the chat, so I encourage people to check it out. But Rosemary put up this message 10 minutes ago that said, please join respectgame.xyz for voting part of the Respect Game. So if anybody hasn't yet done that, then please do so and log in, or at least for the 6 people who are here first, so that we can play the Respect Game. As I said before, we'd love to hear from Gudasol on time, but maybe due to the short time that we have, we'll just focus on reaching consensus first, and then maybe we can hear a little bit from everybody after that. But if anybody has any questions or comments for anybody that'd be useful for consensus, then feel free. And if you're not yet in that group, then please join. And then, I don't know, did you start creating a group already, Rosmari, or Tadas, or should I create it?
I started creating it, and now I only don't see Eric.
Okay. Eric, if you could please join, and that would be much appreciated.
And just so you know, I do have a hard stop at the top with another meeting. So if it goes beyond that, I'll just be voting in the background. How about that?
Okay, that works. Thanks for letting us know, Will.
Eric, can you hear us?
I don't know if Eric froze. Also, it looked like Eric said something, but he's muted. Oh, there's Eric again. Do you hear us, Eric? And are you trying to join the Fractogram group? Eric, you're not responding to us right now. I don't know if you don't hear us. How many fingers am I holding up? Okay, I got something.
No, I hear you. I'm just running off trying to log in because I started a bunch of. I was traveling and I got here, so I'm starting and trying to get in. So
Okay.
it's trying to verify my MetaMask.
Okay. Okay. Well, good. Thanks for the update. And it should be pretty short. I had to re-sign in today too for some reason. So. And then I suppose once Eric joins, then Tadas will finish creating the group, and then you can join from the play button, and we'll be session 140.
Which session?
Okay, I see.
Well,
I
Tadas
see.
would create it. He hasn't created it because he was waiting for you to join to create it. This is
Yeah,
where
Okay.
I
that
just created it now. Session. I don't know. You should see the new one with
Yep.
today's date.
Yeah, 140 from 320.
Yep, I got it.
Yep. That'd be one of the features actually Eric was mentioning. He's working with Abraham on making it so you don't need to wait for people to join, I think. Or something like that. It might help with that.
I like how it shows names now of people that haven't voted.
Yep. That's helpful. Shout out to Abraham for all the great work on the app. There's also, in addition, a donation address that he had put up there. In addition, the Optimism Fractal donation address for anybody who's interested in supporting his work. And so far, We're just waiting for votes from Rosmari, I think. Gudasol's getting his groove on.
I'm listening to Chantress Seba. I don't know if you ever listened to her on YouTube, but she's great.
Okay, cool. I'd like to listen sometime, but I don't think I've heard of her. We just reached consensus on Tadas level 6, so Tadas gets the most respect today.
Thank you. Now level 5.
Thanks for sharing the link, Gudasol. Let's check it out in a bit. Yeah, level 5. Who do you think helped Optimism the second most, or based on the presentations that you saw? Okay. We don't have consensus here. We have 1 vote for me, 2 votes for Eric, 1 vote for Rosmari, and 2 votes for Will. So we need to reach 2/3 consensus. Does anybody want to advocate for whoever they voted for or change their vote? Help us reach consensus?
I voted for Eric because I think he's the rest of us is focused on applying this to crypto, and he's going in another direction, and I think it's very useful to go in both directions. So yeah, very useful part.
Yeah, what's interesting is I've actually been meeting with mayors even of cities.
Yeah.
That's something not used to talking about fractals with mayors.
Okay, well,
But
Eric,
what's interesting is they actually talked about integrating that within their government. We start talking nonprofits, but they start talking about, can I use this for my government? And I said, sure, for my council.
okay, very cool. Well, we'll expect some mayors to join us at next Optimism Fractal meeting, Eric. Just kidding, obviously. But you got level 5, Eric, and I'm glad that you got lots of respect there. So much respect to you. Will said he has to hop now, but he'll still be voting. And we don't have votes yet from Jacob and Rosmari. We're waiting for Rosmari. Okay, and we have 1 vote for me, 2 votes for Jacob, and it looks like 3 votes for Will. Would anybody like to advocate either way or change their votes?
Maybe we have
I can.
consensus.
Oh, okay.
Someone
Looks like
changed.
somebody changed to Will. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just about to say something, but I guess I'll go ahead with the flow then. Okay, now we'll reach consensus on voting for level 3. Will gets level 4. Shout out to Will. Hmm. Okay. It looks like we have not consensus again. We have 1 vote for me, 2 votes for Jacob, and 3 votes for Rosemarie. Once again, would anybody like to change their votes or advocate either way? Uh-oh.
I'll advocate for not me. Just these past 2 weeks, in terms of impact, I feel like I haven't done much impactful stuff. Whereas, I mean, based on there you go. Based on their presentations, Dan and Rosemary definitely had more impact than me the past 2 weeks. So there you go.
Okay. Well, thanks, Jacob. Much appreciated. I see Rosemary also giving a praying hand emoji. I think you're being humble and modest because I think that if you hopping into all these communities and connecting and so forth is very valuable and impactful. But I see what you're saying too, though, and appreciate the kind words. And I think that Rosmari got level 3, actually. Yeah, that's what happened. Now we can vote between me and Jacob for level 2. Okay. And it says Will hasn't voted yet. I don't know if Will had to stop voting, but I was voting for Jacob because I just have a whole lot of respect and appreciation for what Jacob is doing. But I suppose I have 4 votes right now, so I'll switch to myself, and I think that'll allow us to reach consensus if I do that because Will hasn't voted yet. I'll take uh I'll take Jacob's advice there. Jacob giving the praying hand. Thanks, Jacob. Although I think the app should be allowing us to proceed now, but it's still not letting us submit, at least from what I can see. Maybe I'm getting a little bit of delay, but
I don't know, maybe Abraham has not implemented that feature yet. So
I think that even if he didn't implement that new feature, it should be working like this because we have 5 out of 6. Um, that feature would be like if only 3 out of 4 people voted, he's implementing a feature where you can fast forward to consensus. If you have 3 out of 4, that would be 3 out of 6. But if say 2 people stop voting, but in this case we have 5 out of 6, so we already have consensus. So maybe I'll just send a message to Will just to ask him to submit a vote. And then I'm sure Will will do it at some point, and if not, we can figure it out, and it won't be too difficult. But otherwise, we can say that the game has concluded for the respect game. So thanks everybody for the great game, and much respect to you all. Hope everybody enjoyed it. We are 4 minutes past the hour, so we went a bit late. Thanks to everybody's patience. If anybody does need to go, then you can feel free to go whenever, of course, or feel free to unmute and say goodbye. Time put at the heart. Much appreciated, Heart. Really appreciate you being here and your support, and hope you enjoyed it. Before we go into the Optimism Town Hall, we have an agenda which I'm excited to get into, and it involves season 6 planning because this is the second to last Optimism Fractal event of the season, and um, we had some thoughts about planning for next season and the way it should be oriented and what's the community is most interested in, and some more specific questions too. So excited and excited to discuss it and hope everybody enjoys it. But before we get into that, maybe it'd be good if we just have a bit of space if anybody wants to reflect on the respect game at all, or if Gudasol or time you want to say hello and share any thoughts as well. And then after some time for kind of an open chat, then we can head into the town hall maybe in, I don't know, 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever.
Sure, yeah. I can share a quick update if that's cool.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so I'm in Guatemala living life. Everything's good. It's good to see you guys again. Tadas, Eric, Dan, Rosmari, lots of familiar faces on the call, as well as what Jake was talking about. That's like really, I guess, the energy I'm trying to tap into right now. Reason for that is we just released the next version of cXc.World. So we now have blockchain. Sorry if my internet is going out, but we have
Okay.
blockchain enabled voting on the map. So yeah, we're looking to partner with different, specifically Wax projects, but anyone that wants to get involved, definitely check out our website, check out our Telegram. It's just cXc.World. And yeah, come get involved, as well as just enjoy the map, cXc.World. Find some music, and then you can also go to individual nations now and look at the top charts for each nation, as well as each top level administration district or division, that is, for the whole world. So there's like over 3,000 new competitions popping up, and I'm excited. So it's good to be here and pop into everybody else's progress and learn some new stuff. And yeah, I'm excited to listen and absorb more alpha. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Gudasol. You're very welcome, of course. Really appreciate you joining us. Great to see you again. You did just freeze on my screen, so I think that we're still good. Hopefully, it's not my internet that froze. Okay, now I'm seeing you move again. Um, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, thanks so much, and excited to see what you've been up to with cXc World. If you want to share any links there, happy to check it out. And of course, you're also welcome to share that. Everybody's welcome to share any links in the Optimism Fractal Discord too, if you want to show it to the broader community as well. And yeah, really good to see you, and looking forward to hearing more of your updates and seeing where we can collaborate. I encourage people to check out cXc.World. It's a really cool music app that Gudasol's been building for a long time now, where you can see musicians around the world and hear music from different places. He's been building it on with blockchain for quite a while, and lots of exciting features there. So I encourage people to check it out. All right. If there's anything, no, am I not in cXc? I thought I was in cXc a long time ago. I just joined. I could have sworn I was in there. Maybe I was in there as my old account, Dogman, but I wasn't in there, Stan. That's probably it. Okay, cool. Well, Gudasol, if there's anything else you want to share, then feel free. Time, if you want to say hello and give any quick updates, then you're welcome to as well. Um, or we can get into the town hall when everybody's ready too. So the floor is still open for anybody who wants to jump in with any thoughts. And whenever we're ready, maybe in a few minutes from that, then we'll head into the town hall section. And it looks like maybe we're ready. I still see Eric's unmuted, so if you feel like jumping in, then feel free. But otherwise, I will kick us off the town hall. So, thanks everybody for playing the respect game. And if anyone wants to join me, we're trying to figure out how to like conclude the Optimism Fractal section and move into Town Hall. Well, we like to say go Optimism Fractal, and sometimes we like to put hats on. I know Gudasol had a hat on. I don't know if you want to put the hat back on. Um, but if we want, we can give it. I think he's getting the hat. I don't know if I have a hat around here. So we used to have this old tradition where we used to wear hats at the end of the Optimism Fractal episodes. And I can't find a hat. I can find a pillow. Just be silly for once, right? Optimism Fractal. Thanks everybody so much for joining. And go Optimism Fractal. Woohoo!